Good morning to you. You. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Won't you share with a friend or two? Good morning. Good morning to you. You. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. You. Good morning. Good morning to you and many more and many more and many more. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Daring Dialogues. I'm your host today, Shantae Charles. I just find it very interesting that every time I come on live with a fully operable 5G network, that all of a sudden the connection always slows down. So I'm going to try to share today as much as I possibly can on these renternets. I'm going to try to share as much as I possibly can, and hopefully, I see you there, Ben. Hopefully, we'll be able to have a guest on after I get done sharing what I have to share. So, if you're with me for the first time, this is Daring Dialogues. This is Black Table Talk. We have our dialogue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We simultaneously broadcast here on Tuesdays, but we are live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. I am asking people to subscribe to my YouTube if you want to hear more of these kind of discussions that we're going to have today. Um, Part of that is Facebook is not really the best place now to do long form video. One of those reasons why is because they delete all of your hard research based discussion and connection that you want to have with people. They delete it every 30 days. So I don't want to give a lot of my long form video content to Facebook because they delete it every 30 days. So it doesn't make sense for me to build an archive on Facebook of live stream videos when they're going to delete them every 30 days. All right. So if you want to hear our conversation and our discussion Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you want to catch us outside of a Tuesday, we are always on YouTube. And I will put my YouTube information down in the comment section once we get off today. So if you want to go over there and subscribe, you can. Our handle is at Life Nation KC. So you can search us out on YouTube, but I also am going to drop the link once we're done. Today's conversation is not going to be by book. Normally I have my books and we're reading from them and we're discussing the concepts in the books. I may get to a excerpt today, I may not. But I want to say that this broadcast specifically, as we are back for season 16, I have been doing this since 2016. That means next year, should the creator allow me to see it, I will have been doing this for 10 whole years. So I am not new to this. All right? I am an educator by profession. I'm a researcher by profession. People pay me to do their research when they want to present certain things. All right? So, what I'm going to say today is a message of love. I'm saying this out of love for my people. I started this particular page, Black Table Talk, in 2019. I didn't start this because of George Floyd. I didn't start this because of Black Lives Matter. Black lives have always mattered because I am a Black and Indigenous woman. Okay? So I just want to say that before I get into some things here, because this really is for the people. I started this page because I wanted to share, I wanted to focus on what matters to Black people. If you're watching by YouTube, my YouTube page is for all people. But my Black Table Talk page on Facebook was specifically designed for Black people to talk with us, to converse with us, to get into the comments with us, to just share with each other, right? And so, one thing I want to encourage you to know and just to be mindful of, because I'm seeing a lot more of this in my comment section, these apps are quasi legal spy apparatuses. And good morning to those of you who are coming in on YouTube. These apps are quasi legal spy apparatuses. What do I mean by that? I mean that certain words will be flagged on the platform. Certain words will be flagged on these platforms. So when you come into people's spaces and you insist on using the words that are flagged on this platform, that doesn't help Black content creators, and you find yourself banned and blocked and deleted, that is on you. Because I'm telling you right now, these are quasi-legal spy apparatuses. Okay? I just want to help some of us out because some of us seem to not be getting this message. All right? These platforms are flagging certain words and they're coming after certain pages and content creators because of the words that are being used. Now, the question is, do you want us to have a presence online or not? Because the more that you draw attention to us in ways that we don't need to be drawn attention to, the more you risk us not having a space at all to share with you online. Okay? Another issue that I'm seeing in my comment section, people coming in and making direct online threats, talking about who you want to unalive, who you want to harm. I've had people putting up other people's full addresses. We don't dox on my platforms. I know other people do that. That's not what we do here. That's not what we're here for. We do not dox, okay? Doxing will get your page taken down and banned on most social platforms if you're caught doxing, okay? So we don't dox. If I see somebody doing that in my comment section, I'm going to have to block and ban you. That just is what it is, okay? Yes, we know people are evil. We know people are racist. We know people have done horrible stuff, but it is not our place to dox them. I hope I'm being very clear, okay? Somebody yesterday asked me, well, why are you using the word unalive? Don't you mean K-I-L-L? Well, of course I mean K-I-L-L. That also means unalive. That's one of those words that get your page flagged. So we don't say the K-I-L-L. We say unalive here. We say PDF file here for a reason. We know what it is. There's a reason we're using certain words, okay? So, if you claim to support our pages, ban you then? Okay. All right. I will help you out. Who is that that's asking to be banned? Let's see. There you go. I mean, I'm going to do what you ask. So if you say ban you, I'll go ahead and do that. No problem. All right. So if you claim to support our pages, our content, but you do things that get our pages flagged or restricted or suppressed, then you really don't belong in this space. And some of you who follow the page or have been following the page, I know you have probably noticed that a lot of my pages, I am restricting the comment sections to people who follow. Now, of course, I know there are going to be people that follow for 24 hours so they can say something crazy and then they disappear into the Ethernet. We get it. But unfortunately, I'm having to do that. I'm having to limit who can comment because, again, people who don't follow the page, they windmill to the comment section. They're saying stuff that's going to get our page suppressed or banned. And I'm trying to keep this space open so that we have a space for our conversations and the conversations that matter to us. All right. Something that I've been saying for quite a while is we need new codes for a new day. I'm I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing people just, here's the recipe. Here's how we do it. Here's the codes. Here's the codes for this. Here's the codes for that. We need new codes. So when we're creating new codes as content creators, when we're saying things like video embedded, we want you to go take a look at the video. If we say it's a thread, it's because we want you to read the comments on the interior of the post. If we're saying follow the yellow brick road, which is something I like to say, that means that there's something more to what's being said, and we want you to look a little bit closer. So we need new codes. That's just what it is. I want to talk about really quickly something else that has been happening. Most people have now heard about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting losing the majority of its funding, which means it's going to affect programs like PBS and NPR, right? But what exactly are those programs? What comes on those programs? What comes on those stations? Number one, if you've ever lived in a rural town or you live in a rural town right now, a lot of your rural radio stations were funded through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So that means a lot of those stations are just going to shut down. People who are in smaller towns, who are in rural towns, they're not going to be having the news access that they once had, and they already didn't have a lot. So take what's happening with our weather, take what's happening with public health, these notices, these recalls, those kind of things, and then add to that lack of information, and they're going to be in trouble. All right. But what those programs also talk about, and we'll get to that, Big Papa Doc Inc. Okay. What those programs also talk about is literacy readiness. They talk about diversity. They talk about teaching character education, empathy skill building. Those programs were promoting emotional intelligence. Those programs were supporting social interactions, teaching young people how to properly and positively conflict resolve. All of those kinds of programming are leaving. And I know some people are stepping up and donating to like PBS and NPR, but it's unfortunately not going to save all of the programming that was offered. All right. And so, Big Papa Doc, you're saying I'm censoring words and responding by removing what I don't like. The person just asked me to ban them, so I banned them because that's what they asked for. I'm just saying. And if I'm telling you that certain words have already been flagged by these platforms as this content is problematic or this content needs to be banned, they are the ones that have chosen to censor the words. So if you're using them on my platform, guess what? They are the ones who've already censored the words. They're the ones who are already flagging the words. So if you're using them, what you're essentially saying is, hey, come over here and ban this page. That's what you're doing. I'm just pointing out the fact that, hey, these words are flagged. The algorithm is flagging these words, just like your algorithm flags pornography. Notice how I had to remove the P and put a C there? Because if you say the word or you write the word on your platform, the algorithm or the AI, the artificial intelligence, comes to your page to see if what you're doing. And sometimes they don't even come to your page. They just remove your post and say, oh, it contained this word. Sometimes they'll check it and put your post back up and say, oops, we made a mistake. But sometimes they don't. So we're making you aware of the words that are being flagged, and you still come in people's space using the words that are being flagged, then yes, people are going to remove you because that means you don't know how to follow directions. I'm just saying. All right. I hope that makes it plain. If I'm not being clear, please let me know. Okay. They're literally telling us these words go against community standards. These actions go against community standards. So if you want to maintain your space, then you have to deal with these particular people coming into your space, doing things that go against community standards. And the reality is, being Black on most of these platforms goes against community standards. So your stuff is already more scrutinized than other pages from the jump. It is what it is. All right. Lastly, that I want to share today, in case you didn't notice, and I'm sure some of you had, especially if you follow my page, there's an attempt right now to rig the 2026 midterms. Yeah. How is this happening? If you've heard about what's been going on in Texas, and now my now my connection on Facebook is now breaking up. It says trying to reconnect. Are y'all still there? So notice how I just said elections and rigging, and all of a sudden now I have connection issues. All right, this is what we're talking about. So let me say this as plainly as I can before they disconnect my live stream. Texas representatives have made their way to other states because they are trying to prevent quorum. Mm-hmm. Quorum is the number of people that you have to have present in order to be able to bring something to the floor, in order to be able to make a vote on it. Why are they doing this, you say? They're going to another state because they are trying to eliminate, I believe it is 5 congressional seats in Texas. Most of those congressional seats they're trying to eliminate are seats that are now being held by Black representatives. And they're trying to redraw the districts so that the vote of the majority Black districts, or the people who are majority Black in those districts, don't really have a voice, that they don't really hold significance when it comes to the vote. They did this in North Carolina, by the way. I think it was back in 2020, maybe. They did this in North Carolina, and North Carolina gained 3 seats. We know that they have done this in Florida, which is how Florida got the governor they have for the second time. They did some illegal gerrymandering there that has not been addressed. And now they are trying to do this in Texas so that they can hold the majority in Congress. Okay. Now, there is some pushback to this happening. New York, California, Illinois, and Maryland all have the opportunity as well to redraw their districts mid-decade. They could do this. So if they want to play this game in Texas, these other states also have the opportunity to be able to do something similar. And now that Democrats are threatening to possibly do this, I know specifically in California and Illinois, now the other side of the aisle wants to push back and say, no. Let's put up a bill saying that nobody can redraw mid-decade. So that bill has been put forward, and we'll see how that turns out. But you do want to be aware that yes, they are trying to cheat yet again. I don't know. We maybe should call the party the cheat OP. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. All right. So I think that's all I wanted to share for right now. We're going to see if I can bring on my guest and to chop it up, because this we are back. This is episode 3, season 16. We are back after having several months break. Um, had some downtime, got a chance to honor my elders, honor my ancestors, connect with my family, get in community, and all those good things over the months. And so we are back now for conversation. If you are listening by YouTube, I want to thank you for your time and attention. We are going to sign out. If you want to join us on Facebook for our talk back today, you can go to our Facebook page, Black Table Talk. All right. I will see you on tomorrow. We'll be talking relationships and how to deal with dysfunctional family and how to separate yourself from the dysfunction and hold your boundaries while still loving your family. All right. Be well, and most importantly, be light. Thank you for tuning in.